Hello, happy Monday. My goodness, it's Monday. Can you believe it? Weekend goes too fast. I hope everybody has their paper ready for tonight's card. Whoops, sorry. Just trying to pick up some of my stuff. So everything is in its proper place. So I can find it during our video. So I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Boy, hey Margaret, temperature sure has changed. So I am going to be playing with an online exclusive that is not yet available, and it's called Be My Valentine. And you get to create these little adorable bees. Here's his wings, and there's different, hey do, sorry I didn't call you. And all these different little faces that you can add to these bees. And we are going to be working on our card. So it's going to be a lot of stamping tonight. No designer series paper, so just lots of stamping. And let's go through our list of what we need. Let me just see if I have my list here. Hold on one second. Just really quick, let me just pull it up. So is everybody doing great tonight? I hope so. It is so cold. It is what? Oh, it's 50. So it's not too bad, but the wind is just terrible lately. All right. So I wanted you to get a card base that was 8.5 by 5.5. And we are going to score it at 4.25. I didn't even score my paper. And as you can see, I am using, I believe this is Daffodil Delight. Okay, so that is my card base, and it's going to be landscape tonight. Aw. Oh no. And then I wanted you to get some coordinating cardstock. And we needed two 5.25 by 4. And we needed one that was 4.25 by 3, and one that's 3.25 by 2. And then we needed some basic white cardstock. Oh, I just dropped one. And I wanted you to cut two 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, one 4 by 2 3/4, and one 3 by 1 3/4. Now, hopefully, now that you see the pieces, that you'll understand what we're doing. If not, you'll see as we go along. Now, let me just grab my pieces out here. I need my memento. I'm going to have to pull. I didn't pull. Oh, here it is. Crushed curry. That is the color that I'm using. I want Daffodil Delight. I like the Daffodil Delight a little better. Let me just see where it is. Oh, no. Oh, here it is. The Daffodil Delight for the bee is much nicer than the crushed curry. All right. So I'm going to use some memento, and I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight right now. And here's our card base. We're just going to put that aside. We are also going to put aside one of the 5.25 by 4 and the 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Excuse me. Because this is going to be for the inside of the card. for right now, let's grab our 3 basic white pieces. So it's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, 4 by 2 3/4, 3 by 1 3/4. Now I've done this card before, but I've done it in a different fashion, so we're going to try it this way tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to layer these layers one on top of each other, okay? And you want to get them as straight as possible. And we are going to just tack these down so they don't move. And I'm just thinking, what should I use? I think I'll just use a teeny tiny little bit of seal, just enough that it will adhere to the layer underneath it. All right, so let's just pull this out so we can see it. And we want to center this as best we can on this white layer. Okay, now I'm just going to pick it up for a second because it's a little crooked. All right, then we're going to take this layer and I'm just going to put a little bit of seal right in the center of this layer. And we're going to center this, and that layer moved, I believe, right on top. And it did. All right, so now we have our 3 layers. Can you see them? Hey, Karen. So we have them all lined up and stacked. Now, normally the way I would make this card would be, and I'm just going to grab my stamps. I need the wings. I need, let's see, where is that little guy's body? All right. Right here. All right, we're going to start with that. Normally, the way I would do this would be stamp one complete layer and then take dies and die cut a piece out and then die cut a piece out of the center. Tonight, we're going to we layered our layers and we're going to stamp directly onto these layers. All right, so I'm going to use my silicone mat and we're going to decide how we want to add our B. Now, I am actually going to start with the memento. It's a little easier to see the black than it is the yellow. And you're going to grab, hey, Ruth, you're going to grab your stamp set that you want to use, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. I just wanted to introduce you to the Be My Valentine stamp set. Oh, my box is talking to me. All right. So I'm going to ink this up. And you're going to decide, like I said, whatever image you're using, you are going to decide where you want to start with your images. And I'm going to start right about here. And I'm going to give it a good stamp. We don't have to worry too much if you, like I missed right here. Remember, we're going to mat it with a layer of black, so we probably won't even see that piece. And I'm just going to continue with my black pieces right now. And I think I'll put one more. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to leave it at 2 bees. And then I'm going to grab his body because there's a lot of pieces to these little bees. So now I'm going to grab his body. I'm going to ink this up. Oops. Piece of fuzz. Oh, still there. Get that off. Let me see if I have a paper towel. I can see it. All right. Looks good now. All right. So for this little bee, here's his body. So I inked it up in yellow, and now I have to layer it onto his or her body and give it a good stamp. All right, so there's one bee. I'm going to ink it up again and stamp it over here. Oops. Let me just get that bottom piece there. There we go. All right, so we got 2 little bees. I have some wings here. I'm actually going to do his wings in pretty petal pink. So what you want to do with your stamps is decide where you want everything and stamp your images. So I'm going to put his wings right about here. And I'm going to put another set of wings over here. So I'm going to just build my bees right now. I'm going to grab some more memento. I'm going to turn this and I'm going to just line my pieces back up. And I have a little set of eyes. I'm going to put right there. And another little set I'll add right there. And then we have some, I was going to call them antlers, little feelers. Let's get them on top of his head. Do them over here. Aren't they cute? These bees are just so sweet. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Pam. And I'm going to actually grab a marker. I'm just going to put little eyelashes, dress her up a little bit. And then I'm going to grab, let's grab some petal pink Stampin' Right marker. And I'm going to just give her 2 little pink Now this set also has some honeycombs, and it has a heart, and then it has smaller hearts. And I think actually all my stamps are not even in here. Let's pull out, I'm going to grab the smaller hearts. So you can decorate the front of your layers with whatever stamps you would like. Just want to make sure I don't lose all these little faces. So I have a heart. And then it also has So it looks like the bee is flying. And I'm actually going to do it in petal pink. So we'll just... This one I'm going to do this way. So we're just building on the front of our card. Now I have a little heart. Oh, yeah, true, right, Dew? You don't just never know. There's so many different ones you can use for this. So now I'm just going to add some hearts all around. Let's see. Let's put one over here. All right, so we're just decorating the front of our card. Now, if you wanted to add a sentiment, you could add a sentiment. But this is now our scene, and we can add so many different elements to this. I could add little flowers. There's flowers. I could add the honeycombs. Let's add some flowers. And I think I will grab, let's do some flirty flamingo. I just want to test it. All right. Here's what I found. Oh, my box is talking to me again. So I'm just going to add some random flowers, making sure I hit on and off. Okay. Let me just turn my box off before. Okay, there we go. All right. So here is my scene. Okay. Like I said, I would normally just do it on one sheet and then die cut my rectangles out. So now I can take it apart. So I'm going to take off my first layer, and I want to be careful because you don't want to rip it. And I am going to grab my basic black, and I'm going to actually use my seal, and we're going to center this on our smallest layer. Okay, now we can put that aside. Now we're going to take our second layer, and again, very carefully take it off. Grab your next mat, and we're going to adhere it. Adhere this layer on here. Okay. And then we have our largest layer, and that is going to be matted on our largest piece of coordinating cardstock. So we're just going to mat this like that. Oh, thanks, Stu. All right, so there are our pieces. Now we can pull in our card base. And I'm actually gonna, now I'm going to adhere this piece to our card base. Again, you want to make sure that it's on there pretty straight. I have a little bit of wiggle room with the glue. So if it's not on there perfectly straight the way you want it, you just have a few extra seconds to move it. I'm just going to scoot that over. All right, so there's our card base. Now we're going to take our next one, and you want to make sure that it is in the right direction, right? You don't want to put it upside down. You want to make sure it is in the proper direction. And we are actually going to pop this up right on top of the front of the card. And I'm going to make sure I add enough that they stay on. I'm using the edges to my dimensionals. All right, so everything is stuck down. We take off our papers. Now, if you are afraid that these dimensionals are going to stick before you've had a chance to make sure it is in the right position, just take a little bit of glue, add it to the center of each dimensional, and now we have a little bit of wiggle room. So you want to make sure you line it up as best you can. Now we know that some of it's going to be hidden, but we're going to just line this up onto the front of our card. Okay, we're going to take our next layer and we're going to do the same thing. I'll actually use this whole piece. Get rid of these edges. I can throw it in the garbage. All right, so let's remove our paper. All right, we're going to just put a little bit of glue. I don't want it to stick before I'm ready. And we're going to do the same thing. You want to line it up. So you're going to have to look at both images and line it up the best you can. And that looks good over there. It's a little crooked. All right, there we go. All right, now would be the time that you could add some ribbon if you like. Actually, let me see. The ribbon that goes with this set, believe it or not, is this one here because it's Valentine's Day. I don't really want that one. And I don't have yellow. Let's use some nice big ribbon. I'll color it. Actually, you know what? Where's my scissors? Let's see what happens. I'm going to take my heart. Now this ribbon is basic white herringbone ribbon. And I'm gonna see. It works. So I'm just going to stamp some hearts. And I think what I'm going to do also is stamp the other side. This is really nice ribbon to stamp. Hopefully it'll dry pretty good. All right, I'm just going to turn it over. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can't match the hearts. Whoops. This way, if it gets turned, I don't have to worry about a right side and a wrong side. Both sides will be the right side. So I'm just doing it, trying to match it as best I can. And they're not perfect, but now would be the time if you would like to add a ribbon. You can pull out your ribbon or any embellishments that you want to add to the front. If you wanted to add your sentiment, you can add your sentiment. I'm actually going to wait. I gotta clean my hands. Give me a second. All right, so my ribbon is stamped. I just want to get my hands clean so I don't spread this around. All right, so let's see what kind of ribbon we can come up with here. It's a little on the thick side, so it's going to be a little harder to get a good knot in the middle. So I want that knot to be really tight. Not bad. All right, so I'm going to cut my tails. I'm going to get my card. Now with this ribbon, it's pretty heavy. So I am going to just looking to see where my large, here they are. I like to use the really giant, can you see the size of, oh no you can't, these glue dots on this container. See how big they are? Looks like the size of a contact lens. I like using them for the heavier ribbon. And I'm actually going to put my ribbon right about here. Okay. And you don't need to add a ribbon, but it just adds something to the front. So now we can do the inside. And I'm going to actually put another little bee on the inside. Looking for my memento. And I think I'll add the bee right there. So there's our memento, but we got to keep it. Let's add this in petal pink. I think I'll do it right there. Then we need our Daffodil Delight and the bee's little body. Want to make sure it inks up really well. We're going to line it up. And then we can get her little antenna. So I'll do it in Memento. I'm going to add them right about there. Oh, we need this still. We need her little eyes. All these little stamps. I know I'm going to end up misplacing one of them. All right, let's put her little face on. I'm going to grab my black marker again. Give her some eyelashes. I'm going to grab my petal pink marker. Give her some pink cheeks. And then we need to put our sentiment. So let's use, I'm just going to use Love You. And I'm going to put it right here. Let's grab a piece of scrap paper and some real red. Ink up my heart, and I'm just going to stamp right over the Love You, or stamp off, I should say. Grab our matte layer. Pull our card back in. Oh, that's right. He needs wings. Thank you, Dew. Forgot about the poor little bee's wings. So let's just get this in. How could we forget about that poor little girl's wings? All right, so petal pink. Let's lay it down straight. And add the wings. Thanks, Stu. Almost forgot. So there's the inside. And there is the outside. Thanks, Mimi Cakes. Yep, forgot all about her wings. So there you go. And like I said, in the past, I would do it on one layer and then die cut it with my rectangles. Okay. So, so make sure you post all your cards in the mystery card Monday group, and I still have to pick last week's. I'll do it as soon as the video is over, and you'll get a random prize if your name is picked. So Ruth, yours is in the mail, and I will pick this week's. So have a great night. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you post in the group, and I'll see everybody soon. Bye-bye.